What's going on, guys? Cam from Fight Octave here, and I am here with Don Shainis. How's it going, my man?
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. So, obviously, you're fighting Cage Titans November 9th against Tom Santos. What are you expecting from this fight?
Uh, Real quick, I'm expecting to get in and out of there. I'm expecting him to throw heavy, and I'm going to try and take him down and smash him out.
Nice. I mean, 60% of your wins are by knockout. Does that seem like your stronghold?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to take him, like I said, I'm going to take him down, and I'm going to fucking drop elbows till someone says no more, whether that be him or the ref.
It seemed like a lot of people online and on Cage Titans were confused by this fight. Like, what do you say to those people?
Well, I think there was one person confused by this fight, and fuck that guy. You know, that guy's been throwing shade at me fucking for a while now, and I don't know why. He says he's got some guys that like he's been offered to fight me, and I have no idea one who this fucking guy is, and two who's his fighters are. But I'll take them all out. They can get it too.
I mean, your last win was by unanimous decision. Do you think you will get this done early, or do you think this will go to decision?
I'm always looking to get in and get out of there. I'm always ready for 15 minutes though. So whether it be 15, 25 minutes, that don't matter. I'm always coming in shape, but I'm looking to have a quick, easy night. And if he wants to make it difficult, so be it. Let's do it.
You were in the UFC,
Yeah.
and now do you think if you could pull off a few more wins, do you think you can get back up there?
Absolutely. I think that this is going to be another one that's going to make two in a row. And I think I might need one, two more after that. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself right now. I'm focusing on this one at this time. And on the 10th, we'll figure out what's next, you know?
Are you willing to fight with any other promotions, or do you want to stay in Cage Titans and try to get a title there?
Look, I fucking love Cage Titans. Cage Titans treats me really well. Paul Bear probably holds the best promotion in New England. You know, I fought for a couple other guys, and that's all great. But I'm looking to fight. I'm looking to stay active. So I'm looking for November 9th, then January 25th in Cage Titans. And if something pops up in the meantime, whether that be here in Vegas or in New England, whoever wants to pay me. I've had a couple people out in PA hit me up for the week after. I'm like, I don't know, dude. It might be a little bit too soon. We'll see how banged up I am. But you know what? I'm looking to be one of the most active fighters in the world going into 2025. So I want another year like I had before I got in the UFC. I had 4 fights in 4 months, and that was fucking awesome. And I'd like to do that again. We just got to make sure I still stay healthy.
Obviously, your last fight was September 14th. How was the weight cut for that fight?
Oh, easy. Making 55 is a joke for me. Excuse me, making 50 is a joke for me. I'm a 45er. That's a little bit more difficult, but for the most part, I make 50, 55 in less than a week of like I eat pretty clean year round, but like it takes like a week of like being dialed in to make weight for that. Um, it takes about 4 or 5 weeks to make 45. So like just like the little differences, it's super simple to make 50.
Um, well, obviously, you're in Vegas right now. This fight's in
Hmm.
Massachusetts. You've traveled far for fights before. You went to Australia for a fight.
Yeah.
Are you worried about the travel at all?
No. I get in a little bit early, so I actually head back to Massachusetts on the 1st of November. I'm going to be staying with my family, seeing them all. I'm going to be pushing tickets. I'm going to be, in the gym, sweating, doing my thing. And honestly, like the last week, so many fighters push and grind that last week. And I'm at the point where it's like, I want my body to feel good. I'm just worried about making that weight and being healthy, being 100%. I've seen so many guys training on fight week, and that's kind of wild to me where they're pushing their body. It's one thing if you're an amateur, but when you're a pro and you're getting paid and this fucking counts, I want to go in at 100%. So that last week I let my body heal, recover, and just focus on that cardio and that weight and cutting out the salt and the carbs and all that, and the weight always comes off. And it's I don't think it's a thing.
Obviously, you seem pretty confident going into this fight. Do you see any big weaknesses in Tom Santos' game?
Well, I know he's a very well decorated striker. I know that his weakness is going to be on the ground, and I'm looking to drown him. So if he could avoid being taken down, all right, we're going to stand up and bang. But every fight starts on their feet, and it's my job to implement my game plan. And I think this guy has over 100 fights total, so it's going to be his experience versus mine. I think he beats me in both MMA experience and Muay Thai or boxing experience. So I know he's got 70 something fights stand up, and then he's got a 20 something fights in MMA. So this is going to be my 22nd professional fight. So we're going to figure it out.
So this is your first time on my show. How did you get into MMA?
Me, shit. I don't know. I kind of grew up wrestling. I had a high school wrestling coach, Pamela. I call him P, and he wanted me to wrestle, and I'm like, nah, nah, nah. And I thought like wrestling was kind of at the time. I was like, ah, this is fucking whack. Like I don't want to wear a single ed. That's kind of corny and shit. And then I remember some girl was playing with my phone in science class, and he took my phone away. And he said, at the time, phones aren't like they are now, where you can't use your phone in school. So I wasn't even using it, and some girl was playing on it. He takes it away. He's like, you could either pick this up at the principal's office or wrestling practice. I'm like, all right, well, let me call my mom and and tell her that I'm not coming home tonight. So I called her, and then it wasn't wrestling practice. So I went to pick up my phone after school at wrestling practice. It turned out to be a wrestling meet. So I ended up wrestling my first day, having no experience, like just off the cuff, like knowing absolutely nothing, no moves, nothing, not being in shape. And I ended up getting OW. And then I was kind of hooked ever since. So I wrestled in high school, and then I played football in college, and I was like thinking of wrestling, and MMA was starting to get big. We were like kind of fucking around boxing in people's backyards and whatnot. And then my freshman year, I was part of like this MMA club at UMass Dartmouth, and I'm like, the guy was like trying to get me a fight, so I went into this boxing gym, and Eddie Bishop, I was like, hey, I'm home for winter. Can I train here? I got a fight in a few weeks. And he's like, who the fuck are you? You're not fighting. Like, what? So he made me pull out of that fight because they wanted me to fight at 175 and 185. And I was like 170 pounds at the time. And I was just going to do it because I was some stupid fucking kid. But they're like, no, no, no. We'll get you a fight. You give it 6 months. A few months later, like Eddie signed me up for a fight, and I won my Miami debut. I fought this guy Tony Davey, and he was at the time like he was in his later 20s, like former Marine, and I ended up winning by submission, and then I was hooked ever since.
Nice. Obviously, you've been at the highest level before. Is
Mm-hmm.
there any MMA fighters that you looked up to while climbing the ladder to there?
Well, it more so much like when I was young, right? So when I was like 18, 19, 20, I used to love guys like Donald Cerrone and Uriah Faber, like, and then Brock Lesnar at the time. Like, obviously, Brock Lesnar is kind of not the best MMA fighter, but like, I used to love Cowboy when he was on the rise, like before the UFC, like in WEC, and then Uriah Faber. And I don't want to say like I looked up to those guys, but like those were like my favorite fighters at the time. And then as I've gotten older, and as I've seen so many of these guys that are in the UFC, and I've trained with them and I've worked with them, and like this guy's beat me up or I'm beating this guy up, whatever, it's less of this glamorous thing, and you realize they're just people.
Yeah. So, is there anyone from this camp specifically that you want to shout out or give credit to?
From for this camp, this is honestly such a quick turnaround. So I just want to thank Cage Titans for having me back on so quickly. It's always good to come home and see my friends. It's always good to sell out another show in Plymouth. It's always good to be able to do that. And I don't know what my life would be or where I'd be if it wasn't for this. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now.
Is there one specific fight that you give credit to, like your most difficult fight you've had against someone?
Ooh, I've had a couple difficult fights, all for different reasons. I can touch a few of them if you want.
Yeah.
All right. The first fight, not the first fight I lost. That was a bullshit cut. Um, I fought this guy, Daniel Matos, and I didn't know, but going into the fight, I was having some like pain in my shoulder, in my neck, and I didn't know, but my neck was broken, and I fought 15 minutes with a broken neck. That fucking sucked.
Oh.
That was like a short minute replacement, up a weight class at 55. I fought this black belt from Florida. I was supposed to be fighting someone else, and that guy pulled out during fight week. And this is the replacement guy, so I just had to fight him. And I lost a decision there. That that fucking sucked because that took me out for a year, and I really had to dig deep because like after the first round, I couldn't use my left arm, and it was one of those things where um, in training, you're not training at 100% every day. You're not redlining your body, and like I could handle training, but I couldn't handle redlining my body. So for that 15 minutes, that fucking sucked. Another difficult fight. I fought right after COVID. I fought this guy Nate Williams, very good. But he missed weight, and it was one of these things where he missed weight by so much weight. Like we were supposed to fight for the 45 title, and I think he came in at 56, and we fought 25 minutes, and he missed weight by like something like 11 pounds, and I took the fight anyways because I sold so many damn tickets that I couldn't say no to fighting, and it was one of those things where it was like I was literally like paying my rent with the commission I had in ticket money, so I couldn't even refund anyone. So I didn't have an option to fight. That probably wasn't the best career move. Let's see, Sadiq Yusuf. That fight wasn't difficult. I got fucking smoked, but the weight cut to that was something else. For the UFC, I cut 39 pounds in 2 weeks. I was coming off an injury 2 days back into training. I got the call for the UFC, and like in order to heal from my injury, the doctors told me I needed to take a month off. I took that month off, and like I said, they gave me 2 weeks to fucking make weight. I cut 39 pounds. I had my fight in the sauna. Really, like I was on death's door there. That was pretty difficult. And then my fight with Jack Jenkins in Australia, that had a whole different set of difficulties. Like I had to move cross country, I had to change coaches, I had to change teams, I had to change gyms, just fucking moving cross country, mid fight camp, and trying to piece together a new team, new everything. Then to travel across the world with my coach Eric and my homie Sean, that was fucking super dope. But like there are certain challenges within that. Um, yeah, those are probably some of the toughest moments in my career.
Nice. Well, not nice, but I'll tell you what. That fight with Jenkins was super interesting, and you know what? Like you were fed two very recognizable names in the top
Mhm.
25 in Sadiq Yusuf and Jack Jenkins. Like, do you believe if you get the chance again, you'll be able to stay up there with the UFC?
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that I can compete with the best guys in the world. Whether that's the UFC, that's PFL, that's ONE FC. I know I can hang with the best guys in the world. It's just getting back there and getting my opportunity, and even fucking getting to the UFC. Some people that are talented never even get there. So being able to get there is fucking awesome. But I didn't get to do what I wanted to do there, and I got a chip on my shoulder. I think that. You know, I think that if I didn't fight on the Bulk Islam one card, my fight would have got fight of the night. That would have, helped me pay off some of my debt. I think if I won that, like, I, I think I deserved another one.
Yeah.
At least another shot at the UFC. And if I didn't get it, so be it. And if I did get it, I'd still be in right now. I know if I won that fight against Jack, I'd still be in. But there were so
Yeah.
many. I'm not making any excuses, but there were so many factors going into that. That was just I was set up for failure.
Yeah. Is there any specific training partners like throughout your whole career that like you found to be the most interesting or like the most famous, the best?
Uh, I mean, fame's all perspective, right? Like, I've trained with a couple different world champions, current world champions, and in the UFC, and it's one of these things, man, that they're just people, and people forget that. They see them on TV and they see the followers and all this bullshit. It's like they're just people, man, and ooh, at the end of the day, it's like you're no better than any one of your fans as a human being, and like I don't know what it is, but people forget that. So no, no, like I've had many of great coaches, I've had many great teammates, and I've had many fucking talented people in the room. I'm honored to share the mats with. It's just you got to remember they're just people.
Yeah. So, is there anyone on your MMA Mount Rushmore that you want to shout out?
My Mount Rushmore. Do do do. Dana White's head of the table. He's the shit, man. He's the coolest person. Um, it's probably Dana White all four times, to be honest with you. This sport wouldn't be a sport without Dana. So Dana's definitely up there. Everyone goes Connor, Khabib. I don't know. Uh, that's old news. Mighty Mouse is fucking. He's legit. He'd be up there, but I'm trying to think. John Jones, he's the baddest man ever. He's the biggest man, biggest baddest. And then who? I get one more. Get one more. Probably Anderson Silva.
I like that list. That's a good list. So, obviously, you went undefeated in Bellator. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
Bellator will give you the call again?
Bellator's PFL. Bellator and the PFL are the same thing. You know, I'm
Yeah.
open. I'm open. Whoever wants to pay me the most money to beat someone up, and that's who I'm gonna fight for.
And for our final question, if Tom Santos is watching this right now, what do you want to tell
Hey man, what's up?
him?
See, I got nothing to tell the guy. It's like at the end of the day, it's just a fight. He's just a person, and I like it's. This isn't personal to me. This isn't like, hey, fuck you, man. In there, it's fuck you, but like this isn't personal to me. Like this is my job. I happen to love my job, but like I got nothing to say to the guy. Obviously, you got to show him some respect for showing up, making weight, being a pro. But none of that's even happened yet. So we'll see him when I see him.
Only bad words to that guy on Instagram, right?
Yeah, dude. Everyone that shit talks to me on the internet can lick my fucking taint.
Shameless Don Shainis, everyone. Thank you for joining the
Shainis,
show.
Shainis, Shainis.
Thank you so much. Shainis,
Yeah.
sorry.
Nah, you're good, homie. You're
Thank you
you're
for
good. It's a
joining the
tricky
show.
last name.
Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate you
No
coming on.
problem. Thank you, Cam.
Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Appreciate y'all watching. Take care, guys.
Peace.